Right. Well, good evening, everybody. Ernestine and Bonnie, welcome to our Wednesday afternoon meditation session. So, a lot of times when we meditate, especially when we're in a group where we're actually in a physical setting, but even here, I talk about the sense that we're all connected. And there's a connection between us, and that you can actually feel that. And So what I was what I've been doing is I've been reading a little bit about this idea that they call neurosynchronization or brain synchronization, depending on where you read it, or neurocoupling, which is another way they describe it. But without getting into the quote unquote technical language of it, the reason I was interested in it because I often think about this idea and sort of how we feel when we're in a group, and how, at least for me, I do feel this connection, almost like this energy in the group. And this idea of neurocoupling or brain synchronization, however you want to define it, talks about how that when we engage people and truly listen to them, or when we're engaged in an activity where we are all in the doing the same thing, we're all focused on the same thing. When they actually do research and they test people's brains, they do fMRIs, they find that the same parts of people's brain light up as if they are connected to one another. So the idea being, if we could do an fMRI with everybody in our group, which we of course cannot, but if we could, what we might find is that as we are in the meditation together and focused on the meditation, focused on the guiding and the breathing and the things that we do, that the parts of our brain that light up would all be the same. So in that way, because of the activity, because of the focus we have on the activity, we actually are in some ways connected, and that our neural systems measure that connectedness. So I, of course, thought that was absolutely fascinating. I knew a little bit about this, but I did a little bit of reading on it, and thought it was quite fascinating. And so when we talk about this and when we engage together with our meditations, we are connected, even though in this group we're separated by over 1,000 miles between everybody in the group. We've got three people from South Carolina today and two people from Wisconsin, but we are connected in some way, which perhaps we can see in some way, in either some through some spirituality or some other force that is kind of invisible to us, somehow connecting us together. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought I would just share that. All right, so we will begin our meditation. So we'll begin now. So as we start, we'll just sit back in our chairs or on our beds or on the floor or wherever it is that you are sitting. And we'll slowly take in a deep breath. And we'll follow our breath in and follow our breath out. And we will settle ourselves and slow our minds down and slow our activity level down. And we'll work to recognize kind of what we bring to the session today, what we bring to our meditation group today, whatever happened to us, whatever we might have been rushing around with, completing and doing. We'll just bring that, let it rise, and let it float away, and let it go. And resettle ourselves and put ourselves right in this present moment. And so, as I want to work in our meditation on a couple of things, one of them being stillness, another of them being focus, we just start and focus on our breath. and out. In and out. And I try to think of everything settling as the air just sort of settles around us, whatever particles or molecules that are unseen in our environment kind of settle around us, and that we settle in our chairs. We feel the chairs and the pressure on our bottoms and our backs. We feel our hands perhaps laying on our laps or on some armrest. Perhaps we feel the roughness of the chair and the fabric that we're sitting on. Or perhaps the fabric is velvety and soft, and we experience that softness. And it gives us all a sense of comfort, a sense of quiet, a sense of calm. It's almost like in my mind, I can see a body of water, and it's rough, wavy, almost has white caps on it, like we might see at the ocean or during a storm, where it's in upheaval, jumping up and down and loud, and the wind is whistling. But slowly, as we settle, we can visibly watch the water start to settle in. We can watch the white caps disappear, and so they're no longer white. We can watch the little waves, the scalloping of the water, slowly flatten itself out. And over time, what we have is just the flatness of the water, as if there's no wind, no breeze. Everything is just still and silent to our perception. Of course, there's always movement going on. Nothing is ever still completely. But in the way we perceive it, it's flat. It's almost as if we could walk on the water. And then we can watch the water freeze over, as if all of a sudden winter has descended upon us rapidly. And the water that is still, all of a sudden starts to get a thin layer of ice on it, completely flat. And then as it gets colder, the ice gets thicker, also completely flat, and now apparently solid and completely settled. And so I sense that sense of settledness, that sense of calm and flatness, and even sort of the white or clear nature of the snow and the ice. And I stand up and I walk out on the ice, and I kind of glide across it gently. So I just feel myself sliding, not falling, not losing my balance, being able to maintain that sense of balance, but feeling the ice and the slipperiness underneath me, such that I'm not gripping the ice, but almost as if I'm floating on it. And I can feel some of the cold arising through the ice into my feet. And I can feel the tingling and the sensation of that in my body as it rises through my legs, through my thighs, into my belly. And I sit with that for a moment, the sensation of the cold, the feeling of the cold enlivening me, sharpening my perception, almost as like it's just waking me up, completely eyes wide open. And I can feel that. And I can sense the calm as there's no wind. And out on this lake that we're on, it's surrounded by pine trees and conifers of all sorts, so that even though we are in winter, there is green surrounding us. And so as I sort of slide across the lake, Perhaps I put a pair of ice skates on to make it easier. So as I skate across the lake, I create some wind. I see the conifers and the green on the trees. I'm enraptured and enclosed, and I can smell cedar and pine. But the air remains still and calm. And I sit inside that stillness. And I let that stillness wash over me. And as that stillness washes over me, things begin to arise for me. It's as if the stillness and the lack of external stimuli, the lack of people noise, of voices, of people talking, of cars honking, of things going down the highway, of having to be alert, is all gone. The only thing I'm alerted to, the only sense that I have, is just the stillness and the natural world, the green of the trees, the white clarity of the ice. I can see the dirt of the shoreline, dark, deep brown, crystally from the cold. So not sort of loose, almost like little pieces, like salt or pepper mixed together, just intermingling with one another. And all of a sudden, what I see is that all of us in this group are on the ice. We all have our ice skates on, or perhaps we're just walking across the ice or floating across the ice. We're not talking to one another. We're not engaging in conversation. Perhaps we're 100 feet apart, but the air is very clear. It's dry. It has that clarity that you get on a crisp, cold day, where it looks as if you could see for 1,000 miles if there was no horizon and nothing to block your view. And so things sparkle almost like we're living inside a 4K TV that has that crystal clear picture. The greens are popping greener in their stillness. The ice is cold and lights us up and wakes us up in its sensations. The sky is a blue as if we've never seen a blue before. It is blue in a way that almost can touch us, like it has fingers reaching out for us. All of this combines in some way for us and penetrates us, so that not only is it outside us and our perceptions, but it's almost inside of us at the same time. And so we are the cold, we are the clarity, we are the smell of the pine and the cedar and the conifers. We are the sky and the clouds. And that opens us. It allows things to enter, perhaps that were hidden or that we hadn't thought of before. And it rises us up. And a sense of serenity comes over us. Almost like someone blew the serenity on us like a wind. But it's not really a wind, it's more a sensation of serenity. It mingles with the feeling of the cold. And we feel and we sit with that. And we slowly just glide. And we feel the wind that we create from the movement. And we don't say a word to one another. There's no need. We feel some sort of connection. It's as if our brains are connected, as if The sensations that we are feeling are connecting us, and so we are now part of them. It's as if it's somehow the lake is like the nucleus of an atom. And the sky and the clouds and the trees are the electrons that are rolling across the atom, circling it. And we are riding the nucleus and watching the electrons, feeling their spark, feeling the things that we can't see, the electromagnetic impulses of the electron and the neutron and the protons and the nucleus. And we are inside all of that, just rolling around in it as if we've transported ourselves into something that is so small we can't see it without the aid of some sort of electron microscope or special equipment. But we are now aware of it. We've connected to it. And if we're in one atomic particle on one lake, feeling the cold of one area and the smell of the cedar and pine trees in one place, and the sky and the blue sky overhead in one place, perhaps we're in every molecule and atom that exists everywhere. It's as if we are here and nowhere at the same time. As if we are completely aware of the microscopic world, the unseen, unexperienced world in some way that connects and grows and builds and creates the universe. So we are both on this planet and in some star in the Milky Way, thousands of light years away. And connected on all the stars, in all the galaxy, in all the worlds, in all the places, that somehow we can touch those things. So we are all things, and perhaps by being all things, we are connected to the grand emptiness that is space and time. And so we have an experience that is unique. We come back to our pond and we skate off it, walk off it, or glide off it. And we come back to the shoreline and we sit in the snow or the ice or just on the cold ground. And now we look at the lake and we watch it slowly unfreeze. The ice, we hear the cracking as the temperature rises. And although we are sitting on the same shoreline together, we're still not engaging with one another through any kind of verbal interaction. But we feel that connection. We feel as if we are in the same place, at the same lake, at the same moment, experiencing the same perceptions, the same sensations. And we can see each other in the distance. Maybe we're 100 feet apart, 500 feet apart. But the air is clear and the ground is flat, and we're surrounding the shoreline. So we have visual connection to one another. And we watch the ice crack. We can see it as it thins out. We can see it as the ice slowly dissipates and turns back into water. We can see the water. And we see it and we see how flat it has become. And we feel the change, we feel the warmth. Since we've been in the cold and the ice, we now feel the warmth, and it feels different to us. We feel the contrast. We feel the sense that the cold and the warmth are one thing, just different ends of a spectrum. And we take off our winter coats or our heavy clothing. They're not necessary anymore. We feel the warmth of the sun, and it comes inside of us. And the lake is now completely flat and watery. And as we watch this, we start to see the wind come up. We hear it whistle through the trees. It's a gentle breeze at first. And again, we are struck by the contrast, the calm, still air versus the moving, breezy air. And we recognize that the calm and the breeze are different parts of the same thing. That circular, circadian rhythm that we all live inside. And we live in that circadian rhythm. We're reminded of it, morning and evening, happiness and sadness. Cold and hot, moonrise and sunrise. We live in a cycle. We live at the core of the atomic structure. We live in the nucleus of an atom. We watch the electrons overhead moving in a circular motion, or in an elliptical motion, perhaps, on a path, held to the nucleus by some unseen force, electromagnetic force. And it reminds us, and we are recognized, that electromagnetic force lives inside of us, that unseen. And the stillness gives us pause and the ability to reach inside of it, to hold on to it, to see the unseen, to feel the unfelt, to understand that our experience, our perception, our sensation is not the complete reality that we live in. That in order to reach closer to it, we have to silence ourselves and open ourselves up to what our experience is. And we sit, and the water is rough, it's bouncing around, it's scalloped. We see it dancing, rolling back and forth, lapping up on the shore. We hear it. We whisper to it, in a sense, without speaking, without words. We announce our presence because we are part of it. By experiencing it and seeing it and being immersed in it, we are it. And it is very much us. It lives inside of us. We can picture it and see it and experience it, touch it and feel it. And we come back to our homes and our places. And we sit and we breathe in and we breathe out. And we focus ourselves. We drop our shoulders. We relax our bodies. We feel the calm that sits inside of us. We feel our sense of connection that exists and is created by our focus. We breathe in and we breathe out. And we breathe in and out. And namaste. May the light in me shine in you.